Okay, looks like we are recording, so let me close this out. I just want to welcome everybody to this Clean Eating Workshop 101. This is something that I would actually like to start doing in person, but unfortunately my little girl is sick. She's sick yesterday and today, so couldn't make it to Barnes & Noble. For those of you that are local, I do want you to book your calendar. September 12th. I'm going to be hosting another one, but it's going to be at the Pueblo West Library. And that might be more suitable because I think we'll be able to have tables and chairs. And I am going to try and get something set up for the moms that need to bring their kiddos. We will have hopefully some type of like Legos or toys to keep them entertained. So first off, what I want you guys to do is I'm going to show you the simplicity on how to meal plan without having to have a bunch of fancy documents. And so I did post some documents in the group in the event that you can print, and it may make things easier for you because it keeps it organized. But I'm actually going to take a blank piece of paper and I'm going to meal plan along the process with you. And the only thing you really need is paper, and I like to do color-coded pencils. And the only reason being is that's going to help me with being able to organize my stuff a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up so it's main screen on us. So I did post in the group that the colors you want to get. I lost my purple. So you want to do red, green, and purple, a yellow, an orange, and then I just use my black for like my teaspoons and my oils. So the first thing that I want you guys to do is on the top of your paper. So actually, let me go through a few tips. What I do when I meal plan is I sit down one day and I plan enough meals for the week. But my trick is I don't plan 7 different breakfasts, 7 different dinners, 7 different lunches and snacks. I simply will plan 3 days worth of a variety. And so that way on day 1, I have all my foods planned. Day 2 is going to be something different. I'm going to have that variety. And then day 3 is going to be variety. But what happens is after I complete day 1, 2, and 3, on day 4, for me that's normally Thursday, I just start over and I follow Monday's meal plan, Tuesday's meal plan, Wednesday's meal plan. That helps to where you don't get overwhelmed thinking that you have to have all these different recipes and all these different ingredients and trying to find the time to do it. But that's also going to save on wasting food, because when you go to the store, a lot of times people buy all this produce, and at the end of the week, half of it's bad because you haven't eaten it. So if we plan 3 days and we repeat, that's going to make it to where you're going to save money when you're shopping at the store, because you're not needing to buy 10 different types of vegetables and you only eat 3 of them. So we're going to help cut the cost so that you can eat healthy without feeling like it's expensive. And a lot of people think that clean eating is expensive, and I'm going to do another webinar on that, but realistically it's not. And just an example, a bag of cookies, a bag of Oreos is going to cost the same amount as a bag of apples. Which one's going to keep you fuller, apples or the cookies? Which one's going to help your body more, apples or cookies? So we'll go into that on a different webinar. So what I want you guys to do is, this meal plan is based off of a 1,600 calorie diet. If yours is different, there is going to be some customization that is going to be needed, and that is something that I do one-on-one with my personal coaching. So for this webinar, for these clean eating workshops, I'm going to base it off of kind of the standard, what most people fall in the average, because this goes from 1,600 to 1,800 calories. If you guys need to customize a little bit, you guys can reach out and we can do that behind the scenes. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my colored pencil. So I want you guys to take your red colored pencil, and what we're going to do is along the top, we're just going to write how many reds, how many greens, how many yellows that we're going to be eating. And the easiest way to explain it is your red is going to be your protein. So what you can do is go ahead and write protein along the top of your meal plan in your red. So let me go ahead and bring up one thing on my phone real quick. I need my little list to look at. So your proteins for the 1600 to the 1800 calorie diet, it's going to be 4 reds. So you can go ahead and write 4, then proceed, and you don't have to do it in the same order as me. Go ahead and with your green, write veggies. You're gonna have 4. And if you guys can hear background noise with my kids, please let me know so that I can try and get them to settle down just a little bit. They should be pretty good. I've got them on shows. Okay, sorry. Then so you have 4 proteins, 4 greens, 4 veggies. Then you're gonna have, use your purple, and you're gonna have, that's your fruit. We're gonna get 3 servings of fruit a day. Your yellow is going to be your carbs. So your carbs, you're going to get 3 a day. And then your orange, if you take your orange, you're gonna get 1 orange. This is going to be like your seeds, like your nuts, your seeds, or your salad dressings. And then I'm using a black, and I get 4 teaspoons, and this is of like your oil, so coconut oil. It even counts for like your peanut butter. So if you look on here, let me see if I can get it on there. So I list it right along the top. Nothing fancy, okay? Super easy. Everybody could do this. Now what I do is I'm gonna go down the bottom of my sheet, and I'm gonna write a B for breakfast, lunch, dinner. So BLD, and then an S and an S for snack. So just like this. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, snack. That's just so that I can keep things a little bit organized. So after I do that, here is the best trick. This is what's gonna help you with making this meal planning process. So this is gonna be our day 1 meal plan. You're gonna see that what I'm gonna first do before I start to pick my foods is my red is my proteins. And I wanna make sure that I always have a protein with my breakfast, a protein with my lunch, and a protein with my dinner. So I'm just gonna go ahead and write a P next to each one of them. So I have a P next to my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner. Same thing with my greens. I want to try with this, with a 1600 calorie diet, I want to have a green with my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner, because these are your biggest meals. So then I'm gonna write a V next to each. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with my carbs. So you're gonna use your yellow to represent your carbs, and I'm gonna write a Y next to my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner. Now, if you guys wanted to put your carb elsewhere than dinner, that's fine. And that is normally what I do. I usually do not eat a carb with my dinner. My last carb is no later than 2 o'clock. But I know for a lot of people, having that extra carb with your dinner is going to help with late night snacking. It's gonna help keep you from wanting to snack. Kids, please whisper. Sorry guys, beauty of working from home, right? So now what I do, those are my 3 main things that I fill in. And if you look at this, I have only 3 proteins listed for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But at the top, it says I get 4 proteins. Same concept with the veggies. I only have 3 listed, but it says I get 4. So what I do with that is I leave that as extra room for you guys to kind of pick where you want to put. Sorry, I'm having issues with the computer. So bear with me, guys. It's overheating. I don't know why. So I'm underneath it. Alyssa and Easton, I please need you to go to the next room. I'm not going to ask again. No talking. Okay. So now that we have our listed out proteins, our veggies, and our carbs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and like I said, we have an extra protein that we need to place somewhere. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, according to the meal plan that I created for this meal shop, is go ahead and put a P on your second snack. That's where I'm gonna put my second protein, or my fourth protein. And if you guys need to, you can create like a little tally up at the top of your sheet to make sure that you get your 4 reds in. So I can go down and count that I have 4 P's listed already. And then look, I can just do a little tally mark that shows, okay, I've got these 4 listed on here. I've got my 4 done for. And it's just like a double verify, a double check. So I need 4 veggies, but look, I've only got 3 scheduled. So you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and put that, I'm gonna have that 4th veggie on my morning snack. So on your first S on your sheet. So you go ahead and put your green veggie. Then what we'll do is, so we'll mark off, I've got 4 tally sheets for my greens. See how I have that? My 4 greens, double check, they are accounted for. Now we're gonna move on to our fruit. And the reason why I have you guys go through and list with colors before picking your food, because then you're gonna know, okay, this is how I'm supposed to pair my food. I should have a veggie with a protein and a healthy carb. And for a snack, I'm gonna have this. It makes it easier than trying to throw all this food in and looking at it and be like, well, I don't know what I'm missing. So now, according to our meal plan, we need, like we put up here, we need 3 fruits. So for our fruits, I usually suggest to have them earlier in the day. Having them for your second snack is fine, but I never do fruit at night, only because of the sugar that's in it. So the meal plan that I set up for you guys, one of your fruits is gonna go on your morning snack. So go ahead and write an F there. I also put another fruit with your second snack. And the reason being is, if you look, breakfast, lunch, and dinner is already getting pretty filled with a protein, a veggie, and with a carb. So we obviously want to take some of our extra food that we're supposed to be eating and fill in for those snacks so that we're eating 5 times a day to keep that metabolism going. So now, as you can see, I filled in a fruit for both of my snacks. I have an extra fruit. So what I'm gonna do is, you can kind of customize where you want this on your meal plan, but I'm gonna throw it with my breakfast. So I'm gonna go ahead and write an F for my breakfast. I'm gonna tally mark that I have 3 fruits. We already have our carbs accounted for, and then 1 orange. The way I figure out where I'm gonna put my oranges is, I usually use my orange container, which is like your seeds and your dressings, and my teaspoons at the end of putting the food on here, because then I'll know, well, if I'm cooking chicken for lunch, obviously I'm gonna need to use coconut oil, which is considered a teaspoon, and I'm gonna use that to cook my chicken at lunch. And then also, if I decide that I'm gonna do a salad, I'm gonna have to use that orange wherever I put that salad at, so that I have a dressing for it. And in a minute, I will share my screen so that you guys do have a little bit of a cheat sheet. And actually, I'll do that right now. I plan this based off of what I eat. This is what's cool, is as I go through and tell you to fill in these items for your food, on the screen, you're gonna be able to see the cheat sheet of everything that you can use for proteins, veggies, fruits. So if I tell you I'm gonna have chicken for dinner, you can look at that red list if you don't like chicken and pick anything else on there to replace that protein choice. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Chris, can you see that okay? Perfect. So now we're gonna go to this food list. And can you see this food list okay?
Yes.
It is a little bit small, only because it has all this stuff on here. Can you see this control bar at the top of my screen?
Yes.
Let me move it, because I do not know how to hide it. There we go, that works. And then you guys can still see everything that's up here on this screen. Okay, so now I have a family of 6. So with that family of 6, I always plan my dinners first. Dinners are usually the most complicated for families to figure out, especially when somebody's going, on a new healthy eating regimen, their biggest concern is, I don't know how to do this with my family. So we plan your dinner first to make it easy. What, honey? I can't help you. Mommy is working right now. Okay, grab him a snack. Sorry, you guys. Give him some fruit, please. Just hand him some fruit, or I'm going to pause the video and we're going to have to put you guys in your room until I'm done. Okay? You guys will have to go play toys. Okay, so we're going to start with our dinner first. So for my first day, I decided I wanted to have a lemon-baked chicken with broccoli and rice. So for my protein, I'm just going to write in lemon chicken. Now for this recipe, you guys can easily Google it. It is just basically chicken in a casserole dish with a little bit of seasonings. I use a lot of Mrs. Dash because there's no salt. And then I cut up lemons and I put lemons on it, and that helps flavor it. So I put lemon chicken for my red. For my green crayon or colored pencil or pen, whatever you're using, is going to be a veggie. That veggie I have chosen to be broccoli. So I'm going to write in broccoli. Now look at this list. If you don't like broccoli, look at my green container. You can do tomatoes, pumpkins, squash, peppers, snow peas, cabbage. I mean, the list goes on. So if you don't like something that I have chosen, look at that list and replace it. And then for my yellow, I decided I'm going to do a brown rice. So I'm going to write this in. After I do my dinner, then I go to breakfast, and then I go to my lunch. Then I'll fill in my snacks. So for me, I always do Shakeology at breakfast because it is absolutely crazy with my kids waking up at 5:30, trying to get everything done and then to school. Before I know it's been like 3 hours since I woke up and I haven't eaten. So I always do Shakeology, and I want you guys to know that people ask, when do I eat? What time do I eat? So rule of thumb, it's based off of your day. You need to eat your first meal within 1 hour of waking up. After you eat that first meal, try not to go any longer than 3 hours in between, because you got to look at your metabolism like a fire. You have to first get it roaring in the beginning of the day, and then you constantly have to fuel it to keep that fire going. And that's what the food is going to do. That food is the fuel to keep your metabolism running so that you can burn calories all day long. So I always use Shakeology. Now, just a little bit of education in regards to this. It's not a protein shake. This is a whole food nutrient dense shake. There are over 70 different ingredients from all over the world. There are ingredients in here. You can always look this up, or you can go to your coach to get the ingredient list. But there are nutrients in here that you cannot get at a whole food market. This is what's going to really help you tie in this meal plan to giving your body the proper nutrition, because no matter what I put on here, no matter how raw, organic, and whole food I plan this out to be, my body still is not getting the proper nutrition that it needs. And that's why Shakeology was created, to help bridge that gap so that we do not have a nutrient deficiency in our body. And then, you know, a lot of people always ask me questions. Well, I looked at this shake, or can you tell me the comparison on this? And I will say that Shakeology, for the amount of ingredients that are in here, which are whole foods, nothing artificial, no soy, which is, you guys got to watch that. If you are eating anything or any shake that says soy, throw it out. Not good for you. Artificial flavorings, not good for you. Artificial sweeteners, not good for you. GMOs, get rid of them. And that's why I like Shakeology, because it does not have all that junk in it. It does not have artificial fillers in it. Now with the Shakeology, compared to many other shakes out there, it is lower in calories. It is lower in carbs. We have high fiber. We have a top-notch probiotic in the Shakeology. We have your antioxidant blends, which is going to help boost your immune system. So if you compare this to any others, you'll notice on a side-by-side, we have, like I said, lower calories, lower carbs, higher fiber, lower sugars, We have a great amount of protein in here that your body can actually absorb without wasting it. So a little bit of education. That was like a little bonus for you guys. So like I said, I use, for my breakfast, I'm going to do Shakeology as my red. That's what it counts for. So I'm going to list Shakeology down. And then you'll see on my breakfast, I still have room for a veggie, for a carb, and for a fruit. You were sick? Go lay down. Everybody's watching and this is live, babe. Please go lay down. Sorry, guys. Okay, so then I have my Shakeology for my red. For my veggie, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add spinach to my shake. So I'm going to write that down for my green. When you put spinach in your shake, you can't taste it. You absolutely, I mean, it blends it up and you can't even tell that it's there. Then for my yellow, I'm going to have a piece of whole grain toast on the side. So go ahead and write that in for your yellow, whole grain toast. And then we see that we already planned that we need to have a fruit with our breakfast. So now we're not forgetting anything because at the beginning, we listed out from what food groups will we be eating with each meal. So I'm going to do half of a large banana. Bananas are very high in sugar, so I never sit down and eat a full one. I usually just do a half of one. So now you can see I've got my breakfast planned. If you can see it on there and read my handwriting, I'm going to make a protein shake, a Shakeology shake that's going to be considered as your protein. Add in spinach. You can either eat the large banana on the side or throw it into your shake. I will throw it into my shake and then have a piece of whole grain toast on the side. Several people are going to be like, well, what do you put on your toast? Do you eat it dry? This is where your teaspoons come in. If you look, you've got all of your oils over here that you could use as your oils. There's extra virgin olive oil, the coconut oil. So I'm using my black for my teaspoons. I actually really like putting coconut oil instead of butter, which is better for you, on my toast. So I'm going to put that I have 1 teaspoon here, and it's going to be coconut oil. And I'm going to tally that off at the top that I have 1 of my teaspoons in. So if you see that, I put 1 teaspoon of oil, and I've got my little tally mark up here. Now I'm going to move to my lunch. I know that I need a protein, a veggie, and a carb. So I'm going to do a salad at my lunch. So I'm going to go ahead and write mixed salad. This could be of anything your choice. I would say not iceberg lettuce. There's no value in that. Get some kind of like spinach and kale mix, maybe some cabbage mix in there. And I'm going to do a mixed salad of my veggies, to count for my veggies, sorry. Then for my protein, I'm going to do grilled chicken. I'm going to write that with my red. I'm going to do grilled chicken for my protein at my lunch. And then you'll see I still have a carb. This time I'm going to add croutons to my salad. So I'm going to get a good blend of croutons. And I'm going to add that to my salad. Well, now my salad has no dressing. I'm not going to eat it dry, so guess what? That's where your orange container comes in. Your orange is considered your dressings. So I always go with like a vinaigrette, stuff that's not made with mayo, only because I don't want a high fat content. And they have come out with these new Greek yogurt dressings that you can also look at incorporating. So I'm going to write my orange on here. And I'm going to put that we're doing. So I'm crossing off that I have my 1 orange. Okay, you guys, so same concept. You're just tally marking. Here's my orange, and here's my orange at my lunch. I have a little bit of background noise. If you can mute yourself, if you don't need to talk, that'd be great. And then you can unmute if you have questions. Then you will see we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner done, out of the way. Let's hurry and throw in our snacks. So our first snack, we need to have a veggie and we need to have a fruit. Take your green for your veggie, and I'm going to do celery. And then for my fruit, I'm gonna grab my purple writing utensil and I'm gonna do blueberries. If you don't like celery, pick something else on that green list. If you don't like blueberries, pick something else on that purple list. It doesn't matter as long as it's within that list. Now for my second snack, I need a protein and a fruit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do Greek yogurt for my protein.
Email here. Is it on here? Is it open?
Okay, I have you guys muted. If you need to unmute, you should be able to do that from your computer or raise your hand. So for my second snack, red, I said Greek yogurt, and I'm gonna add strawberries as my fruit. I like to mix them together, or you can do them plain. Now we have the base of all of our food filled out here. But remember, I told you at the beginning, I usually save my oranges and my teaspoons for the end, so I know where we need them. Your teaspoons also count for peanut butter or almond butter. You can even, do some type of almond butter. So what I'm gonna do is, I don't wanna eat my celery plain at my morning snack. So I'm gonna use 2 teaspoons of peanut butter, almond butter, whatever you want, and then tally mark it off on the top of your list. And then you'll see that we have 3 tally marks. So we need to go ahead and use 1 more teaspoon. So when I cook my chicken at lunch, I'm gonna need some kind of oil. So I'm gonna use 1 teaspoon of coconut oil at lunch. Now here's a trick, you guys. You're having grilled chicken salad at lunch and you're having lemon chicken at dinner. So are you gonna cook 1 piece of chicken, or are you gonna cook enough to eat your lunch and then have your chicken ready for dinner? I will usually do that, and then as soon as it's done, I will put it in Tupperware and I will keep a little bit of water in there with seasoning. That will help keep it moist. Then when it's dinner time, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in like a little casserole dish, and I will reheat it in the oven, and it's just as good as if you cooked it fresh. That's day 1. Simple, done. Now we move on to day 2. Same concept. You're gonna run down your list and put, you need a protein for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Your veggie, you need for breakfast, lunch, dinner. And your carb, you're gonna do for breakfast, lunch, dinner. For me, I don't do that carb at dinner. I'm just doing it for this meal plan for most people because, like I said, helps with snacking. I usually do this as my afternoon snack, and then I just eat protein and veggies at night. Now that we've done that, and I usually kind of keep the same concept of where I put my fruits at. So I'm gonna put a fruit with my breakfast, my morning snack, and my afternoon snack. So now I have my 3 fruits. I'm marking that off, that I have 3 tally marks of fruits. Then I'm going to fill in, I need my 4th green, you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that green, just as the same as yesterday, with my morning snack. You guys can switch it up if you want. It just, if you kind of keep the same routine, it makes it simple, it makes it easy. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, count your sheet. You got 4 greens, tally mark your 4 greens off. Now there is, you guys can get tally mark sheets that you can print off to make easy, but I just do it from scratch. It's just as easy that way. So then our proteins, we have only 3 proteins. So where do you guys want to fill in your next protein? I'm going to do mine with my afternoon snack. Okay, so now I tally marked 4 proteins. Looks like I have my 3 carbs done. So I'm tally marking those off with my yellow. And then our orange and our teaspoons, we're gonna wait till the end. So next day, I'm kind of repetitive, makes it a little bit easier. I'm gonna do my Shakeology again for my protein. fill in your pea with your red. Once again, I'm gonna add spinach to my shake. I just enjoy that. If you don't want to, pick another green and eat it on the side if you want to eat cucumbers on the side of your shake. Or if you're not doing Shakeology, which you should really look into it, reach out to us. Your proteins, if you look on there, you could do 2 large eggs. So you could do a large egg with some peppers in it. That would count for a red and a veggie. Then what I'm gonna do for my carbs is I'm gonna do my toast again. So it's kind of the same thing, but for my fruit, I'm gonna switch up my fruit and I'm gonna do strawberries this time. Now let me remind you, I'm not buying a ton of different fruit. I'm reusing strawberries that I had from yesterday. This way I don't have to buy a bunch of different ones. And I did skip my rule where I tell you I always plan my dinners first. So let's jump to that. I already have it planned, but I skipped it on the instruction for you guys. So I've had quite a bit of chicken yesterday. I don't want to have it the next day. So I'm going to do some taco meat. Get lean meat. If you can, do turkey. For me, my husband and I are hunters, so we've had a freezer full of elk meat since last September. So I eat elk meat, and that's probably the leanest you're ever going to get. So for my protein at my dinner, I'm going to put taco meat. Okay, for my veggie, well, I'm going to go ahead and have salad on my taco. So I'm going to add salad there. Then sour cream. You can use your red as a part of sour cream. I suggest to do a plain Greek yogurt if you want. So you can list that in as a part of your protein. So I would only do like a 1/4 cup of sour cream. Greek yogurt if you can. I always do plain. I don't mind it. And then for my carb, I'm going to do a tortilla. Okay. And I actually skipped something that's very important. And this happens. Not everybody's perfect. I need everybody to get a blue crayon. You look on the sheet. I did not tell you guys your blues. Your blues are your healthy fats and it's your cheeses, okay? So blue, we only get 1. So we can fill that in super easy. I think what I'll do is I'm going to add a little, if you jump back to day 1 for my blue, I'm going to throw that on my lunch and I'm going to have some avocado. Okay, boom, we're done. Works. Now, I bought some cheese with my taco. Cheese, please. So I'm going to use my blue at my dinner, and I'm going to do like some cheddar cheese. At the end, I'll give you guys like a little cheat sheet. I'll just kind of run through it. Not a sheet, but I'll give you tips on about how much, like how the serving size of what a green should be and the serving size of a blue. You guys can jot those down on your meal plan. Okay, so now we have our dinner done. We have our breakfast done for day 2. Let's go ahead and get our lunch done. So for lunch, I have a protein, I have a veggie, and I have a carb. So I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a turkey sandwich. So I'm going to do some turkey meat. I always do turkey. Ham is too high in fat for me. I would prefer turkey. And then, so for my carb, I'm going to use a tortilla because I already bought tortillas for my tacos. So here I am saving money. Instead of buying a loaf of bread and a tortilla, I'm just going to use the tortilla that I had already bought. I have a fly flying around, sorry. Tortillas. And then for my veggie, I'm going to do a mix of lettuce and onion to go on my sandwich. And then what I'm going to do is, let's look and see, do we have all of our purples? We do have all of our purples. We listed those for our 2 snacks, and then I added 1 to my breakfast. So we don't need to add anything else to our lunch. Now, some people might ask, well, what are you going to do for mayo? Are you going to put mayo on here? And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my blue container. So I'm going to go easy with my cheddar cheese at dinner, and I'm going to do a Healthy Heart mayo on my sandwich. Now, write this down, quick little recipe. You take half an avocado, you throw in some plain Greek yogurt, and you mash it up like guacamole, and that's your Healthy Heart mayo. So I'm going to list a blue on here for avocado. Okay, so I'm taking care of my blue. I'm going to split my blue between my avocado at lunch and my cheese at dinner. Now, when you mix that up, it'll be good for about 2 or 3 days. Keep the seed of the avocado in that Healthy Heart mayo, because you don't need all of that on your sandwich. You really only need about 2 tablespoons of it on your sandwich. So now let's go to our beginning snack. Chris, are you staying along, up with me? I'm not going too fast? We're good? Perfect. Okay. So our morning snack, I have listed on there, I need a veggie and I need a fruit. Grab your green, grab your purple, and let's see. I've already had broccoli, celery, spinach. I do want a little bit of variety, so cucumbers are cheap to buy, so I'm going to eat some cucumbers. And you can pick any type of fruit that you want. And I already have blueberries at home, so I'm going to eat blueberries and cucumbers. And some people may look at like this, like, oh, that doesn't really go together. But to me, I'm not too worried about it going together. I eat it because I'm hungry and it just tastes good. So you can always switch that up if you want. So I'm just double verifying 3 purples. I've got to fill in my other purple for my afternoon snack. So today I'm looking, I've already had strawberries. I've already had blueberries. You can either eat the same thing, you can pick something off of the sheet, or I already know that I bought bananas because I had a banana yesterday with breakfast. I'll just go ahead and do half a banana there. Fill that in. There's half a banana. And then, it's cottage cheese, babe. Then I still have my protein that has not been filled in for that afternoon snack. So I'm just going to look at my red list, and I'm having a banana. So what goes with a banana? To me, I'll eat some Greek yogurt. I've already got it. I bought it. So I'll go ahead and do some Greek yogurt, and I will mix my banana in it. So double verify. I've got my 4 reds marked off. I've got my 4 greens marked off. I've got my 3 purples. I've got my 3 carbs. I've got my blue, now that I remember. And now we need to fill in your teaspoons. So when you cook hamburger meat, you don't need oil. So you're not really going to need any oils with eating, with your cooking. So what we can use is we can do some of our almond butters or our peanut butters. We've got our toast at breakfast. Let's go ahead and do 2 teaspoons of peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter, whichever one you prefer. And then you have 2 more teaspoons left. So if you look on here, you can do some flaxseed oil, some seed butters. What I will do to get those teaspoons in is I will probably just throw a little bit of coconut oil in my shake. It doesn't change the flavor, but it's going to give your body that healthy fat, and your body needs that healthy fat. And 2 teaspoons is actually pretty small. So I'm going to put just some coconut oil in my shake. Just makes it a little bit, yeah, I mean, with 2 teaspoons, you actually won't even be able to tell the difference. Now look at that, 2 days done. 1 more day, and then like how I do the repeat technique, you're gonna have a whole week's worth. Okay, have Sissy help you, hurry. Go have Sissy help you. I hope you guys did not just hear that. Okay, so now let's go ahead, same technique, you guys. Your main foods, protein, you're red for proteins, green for veggies, yellow for carbs, purple for fruit. Let's run through this real quick. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner gets a P for protein. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner gets a V for veggies. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner gets a C for carbs. Now your fruits. How many fruits do we get? 3, according to this meal plan. So I'm gonna do a fruit with both my snacks because I need to fill those in. Then you can choose where you want to have your other fruit. Your lunches are usually pretty big, so I'm just gonna throw fruit with my breakfast again. Now that we have those, we have all of the 4 main things. We'll fill them in and we'll do the oranges and the teaspoons and your blue later. So for breakfast, once again, I'm gonna do Shakeology. Okay, and I'm going to switch it up because I haven't had blueberries in my Shakeology. So I'm gonna do that for my fruit. Now for my veggie, let's say that you guys don't want to have spinach in your shake. We can look at this, and my whole thing is it's hard to eat a veggie at breakfast. Normally I'm not craving to chomp on broccoli or asparagus that early in the morning. So you can go through here and you can eat some celery or something else. But for my list, I'm gonna go ahead and just throw in spinach again. This is how I can get my greens in, because that's about 4 cups of veggies that I need a day. So I throw a cup of spinach in. Then for my carb, you guys can go ahead and do your toast. You can actually, you know what I'll do is, instead of doing toast, because we've done that every day, is I'm gonna do steel cut oats. You can find this by the oatmeal. Do not go buy oatmeal. Do not go buy instant, quick, flavored blueberry oatmeal. Get steel cut oats, okay? They're better for your digestion. Your body actually will digest them better, and it will help clean out your system a little bit better. So I'm gonna make my Shakeology with spinach. But instead of throwing blueberries in my Shakeology, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in my steel cut oats. And then that way that will give that steel cut oats sweetness without adding sugar to it, okay? Back down to our dinner. Normally, like I said, I plan my dinners first. Obviously, it's already planned out. So I already know that I bought a ton of chicken. I had meat last night. I'm okay eating chicken again because I didn't have any of it yesterday. So I'm gonna go ahead and do chicken fajitas this time. If you guys want, you can do steak fajitas if you want to. You don't have to stick to the same meat that I'm choosing. I just try to keep it simple to where I save money on my spending. So down to dinner, in your red, chicken fajita. For my greens, I'm gonna have a mix of colored bell peppers. So go ahead and list your peppers. And then I'm also gonna have onions in there. If you guys like other veggies, mix it up. Throw some other veggies in there. And then for my carb, you go ahead and do another tortilla. If this was me, I would eat it on lettuce. I would just do a fajita salad. Now, your chicken fajita in a tortilla usually has enough sauce from the seasoning that you use with your chicken fajitas. If you want to add a little bit extra, you can use your red, which is a protein, and just do like 2 tablespoons of your sour cream or your Greek yogurt. And what we can do, we can use that trusty old blue. This is the one that everybody likes to really fill up on, especially with our cheeses. I'm a cheese freak, so I have to really limit it. I'm gonna use my blue at my dinner for some cheese on my fajitas, okay? So let's go ahead and tally mark that we have that blue. We're done. Go to our lunch. We need to fill in protein, veggie, and carb. So for lunch, I had taco meat last night in a tortilla. I will reuse. So I'm gonna do a taco salad. You don't have to do that. You could choose something different. You could do a sandwich. You could do steak with a veggie. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do a taco salad. So my protein is gonna be my taco meat. My veggie is going to be my salad mix. And I wanna add some crunch to it. So for my carbs, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some croutons. Well, obviously here on my taco salad, I'm gonna want a little bit of type of dressing. So I don't use ranch. Stand right there. We're almost done. No, Mom's doing work on here. Go get Alyssa real fast. So I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of my purple. Salsa is considered a purple because of the tomatoes. I'm going to put a tiny bit of purple for salsa. And I'm talking like 2 tablespoons where it's not going to take away from how much fruit you get with your other snacks, okay? So now we have only 2 fruits listed, a little bit of fruit with our lunch. Actually, we have 3 fruits, I apologize. Breakfast and our 2 snacks. Let's go ahead and fill in those 2 snacks. I'll go ahead and do strawberries for my morning fruit. And I know I still have blueberries. I still have bananas, so you guys can pick from any of those. I'll go ahead and do blueberries. Double check your purples. We have 1, 2, 3, so I'm going to tally those off. Double check your reds. 1, 2, 3. See, we're missing a red. So let's go ahead and throw a protein in with, I'm going to do it with my afternoon snack, and that is going to be Greek yogurt again. So you'll see that if you look at it, you're kind of repetitive. You're doing fruit and Greek yogurt for every afternoon snack. It's a different yogurt or it's a different fruit, but you can always move that to the morning if you want or switch it up a little. So now I can tally mark that I have my 4 reds. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a meal plan. That one's my carbs. We got our reds. We have our purples. Let's double check our greens. We only have 3 greens listed, and it looks like our morning snack is a little shy of some food. All we have is strawberries. So you could go ahead and choose a veggie, and for that veggie, you know that we have peppers and cucumbers. So I'll just go ahead and do some sliced peppers. I like to eat those plain. Stop that. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have our 4 veggies. Tally mark that off. And let's look. We've got our reds, our veggies. So proteins, veggies, and our fruits. We also have our blue, and we have our carbs. So I'm tally marking my carbs off. Now we got to fill in the orange, which is your seeds. So what we can do for your orange on here, no, leave that alone, bud, is you can actually throw in some pumpkin seeds on your taco salad, and it's actually really good. So I'm going to do an orange with pumpkin seeds. Then we have our blue, and we need 4 teaspoons. So once again, you're not going to need any oils to cook with. Well, actually, down at dinner, 2 teaspoons coconut oil to cook that chicken. Go ahead and tally mark 2 off. You have 2 more because we get to have 4 teaspoons. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of peanut butter in that steel cut oats. So it's going to be kind of like a peanut butter and jelly oatmeal because you're going to have your blueberries and your peanut butter. So there you have it. You have day 1, day 2, and day 3 on here. Now, on day 4, what did I say we do? I just start back over and follow day 1 because you're going to have all that stuff anyways. And you can always kind of switch out. If you decide for your morning breakfast on once you get to day 4, you're like, well, I don't want celery and blueberries. I'll eat my Greek yogurt and strawberries instead. Just cross it off and make sure you're switching veggie for veggie, fruit for fruit, things like that. So now if you do that, you're going to say, wait, Dixie, I only have 6 days worth of meals. I always leave a free day, but this doesn't mean it's a cheat day. I do that because of the family. So what if the family wants to have a special meal? I will plan that day according to that free day. But a lot of times on that 7th day, I will look through my fridge, see what I have left over, and I will either follow day 1, day 2, or day 3. Kind of pick which one I'm going to need. It's telling me we have 10 minutes. So I'm going to pick which one I want to follow that I have the most food from, and that's my day 7. So if you guys want to write this down, I'm going to give you, let me pull it up, a little bit of a cheat sheet on your measurements, how much you should be using for each container. Okay, So if you just write on the back of this, all you're going to want to do is your veggies are going to be, so each time you have a veggie listed on your meal plan, you're going to want to do approximately 1 cup. Okay, so your greens are 1 cup. Then for your purples, same thing. You want to do approximately 1 cup every time it shows a purple for your fruit. For your reds, which are your proteins, anytime it shows that on your list, you want to do approximately 3/4 of a cup. For your carbs, that's only going to be 1/2 cup. For your blues, that's only going to be about a third cup. So you want to make sure when you're splitting, like when we split on day 2, you're only doing 1/2 of a third cup for your spread that you're putting on your sandwich, and then the rest in your cheddar cheese. A lot of people might be like, man, that's not enough cheese, but dairy is not good for the gut anyway, so limiting it is going to help you quite a bit. Now for your orange, you get 2 tablespoons of your oranges. So when we listed that we're going to do dressing on your salad, you get 2 tablespoons, or we're going to do pumpkin seeds, you get 2 tablespoons. So that is basically the approximate measurements. Easton, please don't do that. That's the approximate measurements that you're going to use. Now, because we're running out of time, this is something that you can do on your own, but I'm going to show you real quick. How do I create my grocery list? I use my same colored pencils, and I go through here, and I look at my greens. And so it's so easy, you guys. So I write down veggies on the top of my sheet, and I look through my list, and I just start writing down everything that's in green. Let me give you, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you. Let me pull this up real quick. I'm going to actually show you what your grocery list will look like without having any type of super fancy documents or feeling like this needs to be crazy. I'm going to pull up a picture because I took a picture of my shopping list. Gosh, I am still trying to get over this sickness. I don't know what is up with me. My computer's going slow, so I'm trying. Let me get it pulled up real quick. Easton, please quit doing that. You guys have kids, you know what it's like. As soon as you are doing something important, they need you, and they cause problems. He's been great all morning, then as soon as I got on, it's like, Mom! Okay, I've almost got the picture up. I need to move my bar this so that okay. All right, can you guys see my screen? Yep, okay. Perfect. So let me pull this up a little bit bigger. And I'll zoom in. So when people say, oh, it's so expensive to eat, I can't afford to buy all that food. Is that all that food? Is that a ton of food? Okay. Hey, Easton, that is enough. So you'll see, I just threw it all on here. So I knew that I needed these. I put apples on here because I started creating a list with the kids. They eat apples. We didn't have apples on our grocery list, but still, or on our meal plan. All of the veggies, the meat. I put my blues here too because this is part of our dairy. And then like my oranges, I need to get vinaigrette dressing, peanuts or pumpkin seeds, and then what I needed to get for my yellows. The yellow's a little bit hard to see. So it's really simple. And a lot of times you can take this grocery list and you can look at what you have in the fridge. And a lot of times you can cross some of it off because you might have quite a bit of that. So that's not expensive for a week's worth of meals planned out to eat healthy. So I have you guys unmuted. That's the end of this workshop. Do you guys have any questions before it hangs up on us?
Any questions? She didn't say anything about cakes.
Did you have any questions, Chris?
Nope.
Did everything seem pretty self-explanatory? Like, did it give you a good idea on how to get those meal plans together without freaking out and be like, I need 4 cups of veggies and 4 cups of proteins? I don't know how to make a meal out of that. So when you write down, like we did, the food groups for where we need in each meal makes it so much more simple. So mark your calendar. I do have the Pueblo West Library scheduled for September 12th. It's going to be from 10 to 11:30. And that's going to give us some time to do more on hand. And I will have a whole new meal plan created. It's still going to be based off of the 1,600 to the 1,800 calorie bracket. If you need more food, Chris, we could talk about what your caloric bracket is, because just so that you guys understand, your caloric bracket is based off of what your daily life is like. Are you sedentary? Do you sit around all day? Or are you active chasing kids? Or do you have like a construction job where you are constantly moving? It's based off of that and how much you weigh and working out every single day. Then we create your caloric bracket, and instead of saying you need to eat this many calories, we tell you you need to eat this many calories, but from these food groups, because that's the problem. When people count calories, you're doing it all wrong because you're not counting the right ones. You're filling your body with probably not the right amount of food from the right food groups. So if you're in a higher bracket, I can work personally with you and say, okay, you can go off of this meal plan, but you might need to add 2 more veggies and 1 more protein. Or if you're in a lower bracket, I might say cross off 1 fruit each day. That's something that I do with my personal coaching. So if you guys have questions about that, let me know. But schedule September 12th. I will kick out the event after this call so that people can start scheduling it in, and you guys can invite your friends. So just let me know. And I'm hoping down the road that I will start doing evening meal prep classes. But right now, I can't. I have 4 kids in sports. My evenings are just, they're gone. So I hope that helped everybody. I will post this so that you guys can save it and go back to it. Other than that, I will let everybody go so I can go take care of the kiddos and you guys can get back to your beautiful day.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.